Okay, so since we have all been waiting a long time for this and we're all really excited, I'm really happy that I get to go on social media and see so many people so happy, excited, and thrilled about something. There's so much negativity and so many complaints and all the trolls and stuff like that. It's nice to see so much positivity right now around Game of Thrones. It's nice that we could all come together for a show. It's nice that we could all come together for something. So yeah, I love going on Twitter and seeing all the retweets and tweets about Game of Thrones. It's really exciting. I'm glad other people share my love for it. So since this has been something that I've looked forward to and I've been preparing for, I really wanted to talk about the first episode of season 8, the final season, the beginning of the end. I wanted to show my reaction and my thoughts. Right, so let's get started. I love the little throwback before the episode actually started. Before even the preview started, a little walk through memory lane with all those iconic moments and scenes. Caylin, Jon and Ygritte, Jon being resurrected, and Ned. It was just fun and cute, and I was in my feels. I actually rewatched season 7 before, and I watched some iconic episodes before just so I can kind of prepare myself and figure out what's going on and remember, because it's been a bit. So I never really notice how the famous Game of Thrones intro theme changes every year, but this year it was significantly different because I noticed it. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of work goes into it, and I noticed that they added some parts, and that's pretty exciting. Whenever I rewatch the show, I like to watch the intro because there's going to be a time when we don't get to watch it anymore. I mean, you could always rewatch it, but yeah, I don't like skipping it. Okay, so the beginning of the episode, I love the whole parallelism to episode 1, season 1, with the kid running and climbing. It kind of resembles Bran in season 1, episode 1. And then you see Jon and Daenerys coming in, and that resembles the Lannisters coming into Winterfell. So it just kind of all brings it around full circle, and that's pretty exciting. I like the way they do that. They think things through, and I'm glad that I was able to catch it. I actually watched the episode again because I felt like I missed things. It's so easy to miss things. It took me a bit, but like, that kid is the same kid in the end of the episode with the whole symbol thing that the White Walkers had killed, that turns into a White Walker and scared the everything out of me. I screamed along with it. It was so freaking freaky. I saw his eyes open blue right behind Tormund, and I was like, oh my god, move! Okay, so that was Ned Umber, House Umber, and what's interesting about that is it's kind of karma. I know this kid probably did nothing, he's just a freaking kid, but their house betrayed the Starks by turning over Rickon to the Boltons and just basically pledging to the Boltons. So it's kind of payback. Unfortunate. Obviously, that whole little symbol, we know the Night King and the White Walkers like to create these symbols. We saw it in the cave and we've seen it before. They like to do it with bodies. So yeah, there's some type of meaning behind that whole shape there. Not sure what it is, but yeah, that's what's going on. The whole reaction to the dragons, I love to see the characters react because these characters have not seen the dragons before. It's scary and exciting. Arya, obviously excited about it. You see that little smirk. Sansa, not so much. She's not a big fan. You can kind of see she's like all serious about it. Bran is super creepy, you know. He's just there creeping on everybody, staring. He's just always there. Like, anybody, nobody says anything, everybody there just walking around, and then there's Bran. He's like socially awkward now because he's not really even a person anymore. He's a three-eyed raven. So his interactions are just weird. Like that whole thing with him and Sansa last season when he made a reference to how pretty she looked on her wedding. Jon tells him, you're a man now, and Bran's like, almost. Jon looks up, looks at Sansa, and Sansa's like, yeah, he said worse. Daenerys there saying hi to everybody, and he just casually interrupts like, hey, by the way, the Night King has one of your dragons. He just says some things and you're like, you probably should have said that in private. Like, kind of shocked him not having a filter that he didn't say Jon's real identity in front of everyone. He even knew better not to do that. The whole Sansa versus Daenerys, I hate it. I mean, as women, They shouldn't be. Like, there's so much going on. I don't want to see a rivalry, but I understand where Sansa's coming from. Jon, not the brightest. Sure, he's attractive. Sure, he's noble, nice, and a good fighter, and a good person overall. But Sansa's smarter. Jon is gullible and he makes mistakes. He doesn't think things fully through. Daenerys is young, beautiful, and he obviously loves her. So, yeah, I don't think he has a clear head right now. And Daenerys comes in. Yeah, she was real nice to Sansa when she met her, but like, she comes in with this air of confidence and she exudes this energy and vibe that, yes, I'm the queen, I have dragons, like, I'm entitled to this. And granted, yes, she's been through stuff, and so has Sansa. And Sansa's just like, you come to my home, act like all this. It's like, who do you think you are? So Sansa automatically does not like her. The whole part where she's like, okay, like, I accounted for food for all my men, but now I have your armies, the Dothraki and the Unsullied and dragons. Like, what do dragons even eat? And Daenerys is like, whatever they want. True. But yeah, there's just a lot of tension there. They do not like each other. And that whole comment she makes, like, she's like, your sister doesn't like me. And Jon's like, yeah, well, you know, she just met you. Like, give her time, which is true. You got to give people time. She's like, I don't care. Like, she just needs to respect me because I'm the queen. And you're like, you expect a lot from people. Like, I get it. You need followers. You want to be queen. We all understand that. But, I mean, right when she met Jon Snow, she's like, bend the knee. The whole Jon and Arya reunion, there were so many reunions this episode, and I'm all for it. I know there were a lot of complaints about this episode being very fluffy and full of exposition, which I think is fine. This is the first episode. We want those reunions that we have been waiting for since season 1. Come on, Jon and Arya haven't seen each other since, what, season 1, episode 2? And this was way better than what I thought it was going to be, because I heard rumors that it wasn't going to be great and not to expect a good reunion because it's not going to be like that. But really, like, this was a pretty awesome reunion. The hug, like, it just resembled season 1, and it was just really sweet. Arya defending Sansa and being like, she's the smartest person I know, and she is, you know? Like, she's been around Peter Baelish, she learned, she's been around the block, so she's picked up stuff. Jon asks Arya, so have you used Needle? And she's like, only a couple times. Girl, if only Jon knew. Little Lyanna from Bear Island rips Jon a new one. Yeah, she's like, basically, we named you King of the North. We wanted you to be King of the North. And then you come back and I don't even know what you are. And it's like, true? Like, Jon doesn't even want titles. They give him a title and he just like, I don't want it, like throws it away, like, which I get, you know, not everybody is meant to do that. That's why I'm really interested to see what happens now that he knows his true identity. Like, I don't know, I don't even know how Daenerys is gonna react to that. They're related. The whole Tyrion and Sansa reunion, she goes at it whenever she's standing in that little I don't even know what you call it, the little upper balcony area. She rips people apart. Like, she like throws shade like no other. I like her so much better now than the beginning. I hated her, but now she's grown on me and she had great character development. Arya is still my favorite, but I am a fan of Sansa. She tells Tyrion, I used to think that you were the smartest person I have ever met. And he's like, and it's true, like, Tyrion, I don't even know how he thinks that his sister's gonna send her army there. It's just not gonna happen. Cersei is a liar. Cersei's gonna do whatever she wants. She doesn't care about the Night King and the White Walkers. It's whatever. Like, she's more concerned with herself and ruling. She doesn't want to fight that war, lose her life, lose her men. Like, no, let them die and do it, and I'm gonna survive. Cersei and the whole elephants, I love all the tweets that have to do with this because it's hilarious. She's so butthurt about the elephants. Even after doing it with Euron, she's still like, the elephants. The gold company couldn't bring the elephants? Like, I don't get it. The elephants, I can't even imagine them on a boat. To her, like, dragons, yeah, whatever. But elephants? Euron is vile. I hate him. I think everybody hates him. He's just disgusting. But Cersei likes that arrogance, and she, you know, isn't getting any right now, and she doesn't foresee that she will be getting any from Jaime anymore because Jaime left. And now she's just willing to have him dead. I hope Bronn does not go through with it. I can't imagine he would. That'd be awful for him to kill Jaime or Tyrion. It's just like so bad. Like, especially with the crossbow and everything, I know it's fitting, but I hope he doesn't do that. Ugh, God, Cersei. I love to hate her. She's just one of those characters. She's like awesome, but she's also evil. Oh yeah, her and Euron do it, and you know, it's a perfect cover-up story for the baby in her tummy right now. She could just be like, yeah, it's Euron's kid. Like, totally not my brother's kid. Even though, you know, everybody knows at this point. Yet the kid still ends up blonde, and it's like, yeah, it's just, you know, those Lannister genes, they're really dominant. Okay, so I'm really, really glad this happened this episode. This was one of my favorite parts of this episode. Theon saving Yara after him being a coward, jumping off the boat and leaving Euron to take her. Yeah, I love that he saves her so quick into the season. I could see Yara surviving it all, as we already kind of see. She's leaving to safety, and Theon wants to fight in Winterfell, which is fine. You know, honestly, I don't foresee Theon making it past this season. A lot of people are gonna die, and I don't know what else he has to live for, which sucks. He's made mistakes. He was a total poopy person. He's been through a lot, and it's humbled him, but he's one of those characters that I don't think will survive. Like, pretty high chances will die this season. I love Yara's personality, where she just kind of headbutts him and then's like, okay, let me help you up, we're good now, we're even. Like, yeah, that was disappointing, of course. You know, your brother, who she loves so much, doing that and just kind of running away, which is not her personality at all. So him saving her meant a lot, and I'm really glad it happened, and that she was able to escape that awful place, because their uncle is horrendous. The whole Varys, Davos, and Tyrion scene, I also really like that scene. It's very word heavy, and I think there's some foreshadowing there. I like them three as characters. I think they're interesting, and I think Varys says something very, very interesting, where he's like, they don't like us, they don't whatever listen to us, we're old men. And Tyrion's, you know, I'm not that old, I'm not as old as him, and like Davos laughs. And Varys is like, we remind them that nothing lasts. And it's true. And it's when they're looking at Daenerys and Jon that they're like, imagine like her as queen and him like such a noble person, them together, they make a beautiful couple and it'd be great. It's kind of foreshadowing that it's not gonna last. And I don't think it will. I don't think both of them will make it. They may both die, or one of them lives. I kind of see the odds of Jon dying higher than Daenerys, but I don't know. They could both die, or Jon lives and she dies. I don't know, but I could see Jon just fighting the cause, fighting for the people, and dying, which would suck because I love Jon, but he doesn't want to rule, and I don't see him, you know, wanting that for himself. Who knows? Honestly, we could just have a big shocker. The whole dragon riding thing. I heard spoilers before that this was gonna happen, and it did. And people were complaining it's so cheesy, like ew, like whatever. And yeah, it's cheesy, but it's cute. It's like a light-hearted moment when, you know, we have so much more time. Not so much more time, because there's only 5 more episodes, for it to get dark and heavy and very fight heavy. So why not have this moment? You know, it's funny. Him riding it like a ragamuffin, getting thrown all over the place. When they reach the waterfall and Daenerys says we could stay here 1,000 years. And Jon's like, yeah, we'll be really old. It's kind of like a nod back at him and Ygritte and that whole like escapism. Like, we could just escape it all. But we can't. You know, you gotta go back to reality. And then they kiss and it's all cute. Like, they're so in love. And Dragon's just looking at them like, it's kind of like your dogs. And it's like, and then Drogon, I think it was Drogon, nostrils flaring when like Jon looks, he's like kissing, he's like, I feel like I'm being watched. He looks and Drogon's like. So Arya has a reunion with the Hound and Gendry, and I really wonder if the Hound is still on her list. I don't think so. I think it's kind of, you know, she left him there to die and he survived, and you know, he said that when he saw her, and she's like, yeah, I took your money too, and he's like, you're a cold little bitch. That's probably why you're still alive. And it's like his way of saying like, I respect you. So it's all, you know, Gucci. I like the Hound. I really, really want him to kill his brother. Like, that'd be so iconic. I'm for that. And yeah, Arya gets to see Gendry again. And she's like, yeah, you've gotten better at your tool making. And it's all very flirty. And she wants him to make her something. And yeah, he's gonna make it for her, whatever. And he's like, you're just like every other rich girl, whatever. And she's like, you don't know any other rich girls. Technically he does. He knows Daenerys. She's a rich girl. But, you know, I guess he doesn't really know her that well. He just kind of met her. So it was just cute and flirty, and I'm for it. Can they get together, you know, before everybody dies? Sansa and Jon have a little talk about Daenerys. She's like, did you bend the knee because it's what you thought was best for the North, or do you love her? And he's just kind of quiet, like, yeah, like, we all know you love her. We all know that's the reason why you did it. You know, it was your way of getting in her pants. I'm just kidding, but kind of not. Maybe he does think it's best for the North. They needed allies, but I think it's more so that he's attracted to her and he, you know, wants to be with her. North definitely isn't for it, and I don't blame the apprehension towards her because of her family. They didn't exactly treat the Starks well, you know, Mad King and everything that went along with it. I don't blame them. Daenerys is just kind of like, she goes down to meet Sam, and Sam's avoiding Jon because he knows all this information. He's like, you know, he's not a liar. Daenerys has to break it to him. She goes originally to tell him, you know, like, thank you for saving Jorah, like, that was so nice of you. And he's like, yeah, like, so my dad and my family. And she's like, Tarly, like, kind of burnt them alive. Yeah, I kind of burnt your dad alive. And he's like, oh, my brother. And she's like, him too. Yeah. Sam did not take it well. He started crying and I felt so bad because it sucks. It's so awful. And then he goes to Bran, and Bran, like, Sam's like, what are you doing out here? And he's like out in the courtyard, like, and he's like, I'm waiting for an old friend. You know, that kind of just like, something that you just forget about. You're like, yeah, whatever, Bran. Like, you're always saying weird stuff. Later we find out who he's waiting for. Jaime. And then they have a little stare off. Next episode's gonna be all about dealing with Jaime, you know, the Kingslayer and all that drama that goes along with it. I don't see him lasting this season, but I'm glad he went over there to fight. He has grown a lot. Yeah, so basically Bran's like, yeah, Sam, you gotta go tell Jon the truth. And Sam's like, wait, why me? You're his brother. And he's like, he trusts you more. Like, sure, Bran, go make other people do their dirty work. So Sam goes and tells Jon, which I really like that it was done in the crypt. Jon's there, you know, with his father, Ned Stark, who he thinks is his father, who he grew up thinking was his father. And Sam's like, oh yeah, Daenerys told me about my father and brother being burnt alive. Did you know that? Jon obviously didn't know. He's like, yeah, that's not really great. Sorry, you know, I'm sorry. And Sam breaks it to him. It's like, yeah, you were never a bastard. Like, I like how he starts with the beginning, like, Lyanna's your mom. And Jon's like, wait, what? Like, Lyanna and Ned, they're siblings. Like, he's like, oh shit, like, I'm a product of incest. And then he's like, no, like, your father is, you know, Rhaegal Targaryen. So yeah, Jon finds out that he's apparently the true heir to the Iron Throne. So yeah, he's never been a bastard. And there you go. Jon has gotten rid of all his titles, and then suddenly he's given another one. And yeah, now what? We don't know, and we're gonna find out. I think it's really fitting that he's there in front of Ned Stark, because remember, last time he saw Ned Stark, Jon asked him, like, what about my mom? Like, who's my real mom? And he's like, next time I see you, I'll tell you. Obviously, he doesn't see him again because Ned dies. He gets beheaded. So Jon doesn't really find out until that moment. And guess whose little statue is there in the back? Ned Stark. I thought that whole line with Tormund where, you know, they're looking after the White Walkers went through the wall, which I don't know how they all survived. Obviously people died, but like they were like, I don't know. They got really lucky. They're like, be careful, he has blue eyes. And Tormund's like, I've always had blue eyes. I love that little comic relief, and he's comic relief. Like, he's awesome. I love him. So yeah, that's basically it. I cannot wait for the next episode. Obviously, I could talk about this for a long time. Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be really great, and I'm sad to see it end, but I'm really happy with the premiere. It satisfied me. I wish it was longer. It ended before I knew it. Yeah, the other ones are gonna be longer, but I wish this one was a little longer, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, that's it. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah.